Hello everybody, and in this video we'll talk about how you can replace findViewById with view binding. If you are sick and tired of using findViewById to get a reference to your views, then view binding will give you the ability to replace findViewById with generated binding object. And let's see how it works. To demonstrate this, I created an empty project. As you can see, nothing here, just a hello world text. And the first thing we will do is we will enable view binding in our module level build.gradle file. So go right here, and inside the Android section, let's go ahead and specify view binding, and then inside it set enabled to true. And of course you can disable it later if you want by setting this to false. Go ahead and synchronize the project, and this will enable view binding in your project. And the next thing, let's go to XML and let's design something. I will design something simple, just a button and an edit text. So let's get rid of this hello world text, drag and drop inside, and let me just constrain it. Now let's go ahead and add another thing, just a simple for example a plain text right here, just an edit text, so we can see how it will work. So let me just constrain it, and it will be right here, and I can give it some margin 30 dp. Let's get rid of the text. So let's change the ID to be, for example, message field, and then click refactor, and for the button 2, for example, show tools, and click refactor. So let's switch to the activity. Let's go ahead and use the binding inside this activity. To use it, get a reference to the binding right here before set content view, call it binding, and then it will equal to activity main binding. As you can see, the name of the activity is main activity, and the name of the binding instance or the generated class will be activity main binding. And then we can inflate the layout. We go and inflate it and pass in the layout inflator. So this binding class will contain reference to the root view and all other views that have an ID inside our layout. And we have two views that have an ID, a button and a text. So they will be contained inside this binding class instance. So now we initialize the binding class. Let's go ahead and instead of passing r.layout.activityMain, go ahead and pass binding.root, and it will pass the root view to the set content view to the activity. And now we can easily use it. We can access binding instance, and then inside it, as you can see, we have the message field and the show toast button. So this show toast button, we can attach a click listener, and whatever this button is clicked, this code will be executed. And then inside it, we can get from the message field, we can access the text and then convert it to a string, and let's store it right here. So now we have the message entered inside the message field. Now we can just show toast, and let me go ahead and show the message and specify the length, and finally click show. And now let's run the application and see the result. So now whatever message we written right here, it will be shown when I click this button. So go and say hello there, click on this button, and as you can see, this toast message is shown. So this is a simple example, and it may not make sense to you, but if you have a bigger project when you have tons and tons of views and you need to find each one of them by ID, it will become a pain. So instead, always use view binding because it will make your code cleaner. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.